Hey folks, Mitch with Rideshare Dashboard. If you haven't already done so, feel free to subscribe by clicking the little icon below so you can stay up to date when I post new videos. So I want to talk about firearms and concealed carry as a rideshare driver. And to start with that, I want to specifically talk about a guy who got deactivated even though he had a concealed carry permit for having a gun while driving. Now, a lot of people think that it's stupid. You should be allowed to do it, and they shouldn't have deactivated him. Well, I'm unfortunately on their side. I do not believe as a rideshare driver you should have a firearm on you, and I'm going to tell you why too, because I know a lot of people right now are thinking, well, if it's my safety. Well, you know what? Here's the problem. Walking down the street, drawing your weapon, pointing it out straight. Hey, you know what? You can put it around downrange with your sidearm and hit your target, alright. But in the confines of a car, drawing that weapon from a shoulder, your hip, the small of your back, the glove compartment, under your leg, the problem is when you go to draw that firearm, you are restricted and really can't even draw it out efficiently because the guy's already on top of you. You are a civilian who's trying to draw a firearm or a handgun or sidearm, whatever term you want to use. I prefer sidearm. So you're trying to draw your sidearm. Guess what? Your adrenaline's pumping, your blood is pumping, your heart is pumping. You're in a high stress situation you are not equipped to handle. You're being attacked. You're being pounded on. And you're somehow going to manage to draw that gun. And let's just say I did draw it, and now I'm going to shoot the guy behind me. Well, how am I going to shoot him? Go like this? I don't know what that's being aimed at. Go like this? I don't know where that's being aimed at. I'm being hit. Okay, guess what? I shoot off a round. I miss. What are you going to do? What are you going to do? You just hit a child outside on the street. You put a round through him. You are so close to him that round is more than likely going to be a through and through. You're probably going to go into him, and it's going to come out the other side. It's going to go through your car, and it's going to hit someone on the street. You know why law enforcement are allowed to carry their weapons anywhere they go? Because they shoot on an average of probably about 1,500 rounds a week. They spend 6 to 8 weeks in a gun range just becoming proficient enough to be able to draw that weapon and shoot it on the job. Then on top of that, there are scenario setups where they train the instinct and muscle reaction of an officer to understand situational awareness under high pressure and high intense situations so they can calm themselves enough to be able to draw that weapon and shoot it properly and put a round down range. You cannot do that as a civilian unless you have committed that much time and effort. Like I said, 6 to 8 weeks, 1,500 rounds a week, and under pressure. You're going to shoot somebody that is innocent and just a bystander. Because one, you are in such a highly confined space being in your vehicle, there is not the room needed to draw, aim, and put a round downrange in a safe manner. And even if you could, you are too close to be using that firearm at that point. So, what are some other considerations we should talk about? Well, your concealed carry course was what, 2 or 3 days? You might have fired a magazine or two, and that's it. Now you got a concealed carry permit, and you've got a firearm. But are you proficient at it? What about highly under stress? Probably not. So, should you be carrying a firearm as a rideshare driver? Absolutely not. That ain't even if you were proficient, that is not a good choice to protect yourself in such a confined space. So, here's some other considerations with that. Even if you do shoot him and you manage to go ahead and shoot him without hurting somebody else, you're still going to end up paying anywhere from $25 to $50 to $100 Hell, you could end up paying $500,000 in legal fees to clear your name. Now, you're thinking, well, no, the police investigated and they said it was justified. Well, I'm good. No, actually, you're not. Because first, you still have to defend your name, and you have to prove and and show the investigators or detectives that it was a justified shooting. Then from that point, even if you do clear your name, you got to understand the family or the individual you shot could still bring a civil lawsuit against you. So now you're going to court twice. The first one to prove that you were justified in your shooting, and that's a criminal court. And now you have to go to civil court and defend yourself again, because guess what? They're suing you. Now it's no longer a government issue, it's a private person's issue, private citizen. So now you're going to court twice. And during that time, you probably won't have your firearm because it will have been taken into evidence while they determine whether it was justified or not. And then there's no even guarantee that they're going to allow you to have that back, as they may just keep it in evidence. Now, you can get insurance, and some of that insurance runs anywhere from, I think I've seen like $200 to $800 a year for concealed carry firearm insurance to help with those legal costs. But do you know how much time, hassle, and effort you have to go through? Like I said, the average Joe is not going to be proficient enough to make this work. Do not carry a gun. You know, here's the other thing I have to say about that. When you signed up to be a rideshare driver, you agreed to the terms of service that you would not carry a firearm in that vehicle. And since you chose to do so and got deactivated, I don't feel sorry for you. You've put your life, the life of your passenger, and the life of the people outside your vehicle at risk. And I'm going to say this again. You put your life, their life, and the people outside of your vehicle at risk. And so, yeah, you deserve to be deactivated. Because at the end of the day, guess what? You basically said, rules, screw the rules. Which you might as well at that point say, the law, screw the law. I mean, you already don't care about the rules. You don't care about people's safety. And yeah, you might think I'm coming off a little bit harsh on this one and a little bit having an attitude. But, this is people's lives that are being put at risk. So let me put it to you this way. You don't have the training or proficiency as a civilian to be able to pull that off. The sidearm is an inadequate weapon for the confined space of a vehicle, and the people's lives that you're putting at risk are innocent bystanders when that bullet goes through your vehicle because you can't even properly aim it in the car to get a round off. So what are some options that you could do? Well, double check your terms of service and your local laws and everything, or your state laws. But I would probably look into carrying either pepper spray or a heavy flashlight. You could use your keys. There's all kinds of other options. A stun gun, maybe. Like I said, don't take this as a high recommendation. I'm just saying, look at your terms of service, speak to a legal attorney that can answer those questions, and go from there to make your determination. Now, I know in Wisconsin, I can carry a baton with a concealed carry permit. However, I don't know if it's a fixed baton or an expandable, but that would be something I would clear up. Again, I wouldn't use a baton in the car either. Personally, I would rather just carry pepper spray and never have to use it. The chances of you even having to use your firearm are slim. So that is something you need to take into consideration. In addition to that, because this is a job and you're considered commercial, there may be extenuating circumstances where you can still be criminally charged because guess what? It's commercial. You're carrying it, and you may not have a commercial firearm permit. That's why becoming a security guard, a lot of security, as a security guard that carries a firearm, you have to be bonded and fingerprinted, And then in addition to that, you have to have a armed security guard license. It isn't just pick one up and go. Now, let me go one step further and say that, there's a lot of other options that you can do. Personally, like I said, I think pepper spray is the best. Never have to use it. But more than that, learn conflict resolution. Learn to understand behavior of a person. Learn to identify suspicious behavior. And that will help keep you safe. So, let me go ahead and end this video by saying, subscribe below. Feel free to use my promo codes if you want to sign up. And just remember to check us out at the website rideshare-.com. Thank you, and stay safe, and let me know your feedback in the comments on what you feel on this and my thoughts on this. Let me know, get your feedback. All right? Bye.